How you doing, everybody? Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is on this Roland TD-17 electronic drum kit. Roland is a driving force in the world of electronic drums and percussion, and they've kept that tradition going strong with the new TD-17 kit. It is super easy to use, it has tons of great sounds, and it's a lot of fun to play. So come on with me and let's get into all the details right now. There's three different versions of the TD-17 kit that you can check out. There's the KL, think of the L as standing for light, like a light version of it, the KV and the KVX, and the KVX is what I'm sitting behind right now. All of those kits come with the TD-17 brain, so you get the same sounds no matter what kit you can buy, and they made those three different versions just to fit any budget that you might be dealing with. First thing I want to do is go through all the pads on this KVX kit because they're really nice, and we're going to start here with the hi-hat. This is the VH10. It's a really nice feeling hi-hat. Does all the same things like a regular hi-hat does. It has the drum sensor on the bottom right here, this piece, along with the top cymbal. It's really easy to adjust and to adjust to your playing style. There's settings inside the box where you can adjust the sensitivity, how much it opens and closes, and again, it's really easy to do those settings. Now let's go to the cymbal pads here. You have two CY12 crash cymbals, and you have a CY13 ride cymbal. All of the cymbals have the choke feature, so you can, like a regular cymbal, and the ride cymbal has a nice bell sound, and it feels good, and it's nice that it's a tiny bit bigger than the crash cymbals, which makes it more like a real drum kit. For the tom pads, you get three PDX8, 8 stands for 8 inches, all dual zone pads. They feel good, nice mesh heads that you can tighten or loosen depending on your playing style and your feel. The snare pad is the PDX12. It's great because it's 12 inches round. It's a little bit bigger than the tom pads. It has great feeling, great mesh head like the toms do. You can adjust the tension like you can on the tom pads, and it also is dual zone. And finally, down there at the kick drum is the KD10 kick drum trigger. Nice feeling mesh pad. And I also want to mention, like I have in other electronic drum kit videos, the beater on my kick drum pedal is plastic, and I definitely recommend a plastic beater on the kick drum pedal you use as well, because if you use a felt beater, the felt will actually tear away at the mesh on the head, okay, over time. It doesn't just do it right away, but over time it will tear away, and the plastic does not do that. You will have a little bit louder of a click sound with the plastic beater hitting the mesh head, but again, it's going through a PA. You wouldn't be able to hear that out front in the audience anyway. So again, take care of that mesh head. Use a plastic beater. And just so you know, the KD10 will also fit a double kick drum pedal. There is enough room for 2 beaters there, so if you want to have a double pedal, feel free to use it with the KD10. All right, so now we got through the pads. Let's get into the brain, the TD-17 brain. Again, it's the same in whichever version of the TD-17 kit you get, and this is where the magic happens. All the sounds are based on their flagship TD-50 sound module, so they sound really good, nice and natural, especially the crash cymbals. I love this crash cymbal sounds, the way they decay. We're going to get in all those details right now. Inside the brain are well over 300 instruments. There's 100 kits inside the brain. 50 are preset from the factory, and 50 you can design and customize however you see fit. All right, let's go through some of the sounds in the TD-17 brain, and we're going to start with kit number 1, your basic acoustic wood drum kit. Like I mentioned earlier, the crash cymbals and the ride cymbals are really natural sounding. And this is just a small example right here, but listen how the crash cymbal over here on my right decays all the way to the very end. It's a really beautiful sound, sounds very natural. Same with the ride cymbal. Really beautiful decay, and they've mapped the sound throughout this ride cymbal pad to where it feels real natural, like a regular cymbal. A little bit thicker sound towards the edge of the cymbal, the deep meat of the sound in the center of the pad, and then obviously the bell too. Really nice there. The TD-17 Brain has all kinds of acoustic sounds, all kinds of electric sounds, and percussion sounds, pretty much whatever you need. Playing a little jazz? How about some jazz? A few different metal drum kits. What's cool about the metal drum kits is that the kick drum are really loud and just tight and precise and in your face. Here we go. Yeah, rock and roll. Lots of fun effects in the TD-17 Brain as well. This particular kit, number 7, Electro Wah. They've mapped out some of the funkier kits in the TD-17 really well with the dual zone features of these pads. So you can really get creative with all the different sounds at your disposal. This particular kit has some tambourines and different jingle sounds layered with the acoustic drums. We're going to get into all the effects and different features on the inside in just a second, but this particular kit number 35, they're calling it Rock and Gate. It has a gated effect sound. Now also with this Brain, you have a button right here, a knob right here, I should say, that says ambience. You can turn up and down different ambience features on any drum kit in the TD-17, from really extreme to really minimal, whatever you want. And this particular kit, you can really hear the difference when I turn the knob up. So I'm going to do that for you right now. Here we go, check it out. Very easy to use, and you can set up each kit with the exact amount of ambience that you want. There's some really cool lo-fi sounding drum kits in the TD-17. That kit is really cool. Lo-fi with a ton of compression on it. You can do really creative stuff with sounds like that. And also with the TD-17, you get your typical 808 and 909 EDM style drum sounds. And finally, just so you can hear it, a kit with some really cool percussion sounds. All right, now let's get over to the brain itself and let me show you all the buttons and the knobs and what they do and the features inside this TD-17. They made it really simple to use the TD-17 and all the buttons are really self-explanatory. So up at the top over here on the knobs you have your main volume, you have a bass and treble knob, which is really cool if you want to add a little bit of EQ to whatever sound you're playing, and again right here the very last one is the ambience knob. Just below those knobs where it says instrument you have the pad select button. You can change through the different pads by pressing the button, but whatever pad you hit, you'll see that particular pad light up on the brain itself. So there you got the kick, tom, 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 and so on. Pressing the assign button is how you change sounds on a particular pad that you're playing. So right now that says beach. If I want to change a sound, I just turn the knob. The sounds change. It's really simple to do. The level button changes the level of a particular drum that you're playing. User sample, we'll get to that one in just a second, but you can import your own samples with an SD card really simply with the TD-17. I'll show you that one in just a second. The tuning button changes the pitch of a particular sound that you're playing. Muffling is a really cool feature that you use with your acoustic drums, and they've given you a bunch of options on the TD-17. So right now it's off. Tape, tape 2, tape 3. It just gets more extreme as you turn the knob into a blanket, even a weight. Lots of weights. You can really deaden up a particular sound as much or as little as you want. Other, there's lots of great features when you hit the other button. Once you press it over here on the LCD screen, it'll give you some options to choose from. Ambience. This is where you set the different kinds of ambience that the TD-17 has. And all you have to do is use the up or down arrows and the knob to change any parameter. So right now it's on Studio B. There's tons of different choices from huge concert halls, gates, ballrooms, clubs, and so on. Then you could change the size of a particular thing, the room shape, which is really cool, what the room is made of. This one has plaster or concrete or glass. There's a wood option, cloth, curtains, all kinds of different options to change the ambience, which is really, really neat. The mic position is where the mics are placed in that room. And then you go all the way down, and then there's the level. One thing I want to show you is once you're in this kind of thing, this button that says send sends that ambience to a particular pad or not, okay? And you just adjust how much ambience you want by changing the level. So right now, the kick has minus 16 dB, but if you want it a lot more, just crank it on all the way up and you can get into the plus side as well, and you do that with every pad in your kit. And then the last button right here just says on. When you don't see the check mark, the ambience will not be on. Press it in, the ambience will be on. Again, super simple. And then when you're done, you just hit exit and you go on out. You're back to your main screen. Multi-effects. There's tons of effects in the TD-17. From delays and reverbs and distortion and bit crushers and all kinds of stuff. Again, you just use the knob and the up and down arrows to get through the different effects and turn it on with the last button at the bottom here so you see the check mark in the little on box. Lots of really cool sounds. And again, you can set this up with any kit, with any pad, and all of that. And then again, you just move the up and down arrow and the knob to change the parameters there. Here's a really cool feature. Right under the third button here, it says Pad EQ. You can change individual EQ for individual pads on any drum kit. So just in case you want your kick drum to have a little more low end compared to the rest of the drums, just hit the Pad EQ. It reads whatever pad you're on. So I hit the tom, and up the top corner it says tom 1, T1, snare, says it right there. So again, whatever pad you want to change, you just do it and then use the different buttons on the bottom to change the parameters. Very simple to do. Now there's a few more things here. Use the down arrow. Volume changes the volume of individual pads. Name is where you name the drum kit. MIDI note, this will show you exactly what MIDI note is being played on whatever pad you're hitting. And it follows all the pads. And then finally down at the bottom, copy. You can copy a particular kit to the user section and then edit it there. Simple. And save and load. Self-explanatory, saving kits or loading kits into the system. So a lot of good features under the other button right there. The buttons down here at the bottom are record, play and stop, slow and fast. These all have to do with the song features that are in the TD-17. Hit the button that says song. Now inside there's a few internal songs that come with the machine. Then you can also load your own songs on that same SD card into the machine, and this is where you play the song. So hit play and you'll hear the internal rock number 1 that they have going on. Play and stop. Now you heard a click track going on right there. Right here it says guide in the bottom corner of the LCD screen. That same thing, if you want it off, the check mark in the box goes away. If you want it on, the check mark comes on. So you can have a click track going with whatever song you're playing. So click on, click off. And also inside the LCD screen here, there's different volumes where you can change the volume of the click, the volume of the track, and how much drums you're hearing, and so on. Again, really simple and easy to use. Let's get into the buttons that are right here by the jog wheel. Obviously, drum kit takes you through all the different drum kits. You just turn the wheel to change to wherever you want. Next is the click function. The bottom button right here has the same box with the on and off. Very simple. You can change the volumes, and the menu is where you change your rhythm type, whether you want quarter notes, eighth notes, all kinds of different things. How many beats per bar? Right now it's at 4 beats per bar. The sound of the metronome, where you want it panned, and all of that kind of stuff right there with the click track function. The next button I want to push here is the coach button. And this is a really cool feature for all of us drummers out there to practice with, check our time, and have some cool warm-up exercises as well. So if you want to check out how good your timing is, just hit the button under time check. The tempo is at 120 right now. You can change the tempo by just turning the knob. Okay, hit start and play, and it'll tell you how good your timing is. Wasn't too good right there, but if you're spot on, those little arrows will be right in the center. Now, it only gave me a score of 66 because I was kind of talking and not playing that well. But if you want to retry again, it goes for about a minute long, and then it'll give you a score. You can check how good your timing is and how many of those hits within that time frame were right in the center spot. Quiet count is cool because it has the click go for a while, and then it has the click go away for a while and then come back. This is a really cool feature to see how good your timing is, because hopefully you stay in time when the click is not playing. Oh, I was a little off. Not too bad. Right on. All right, and finally, the last button over here is warm-ups, another really cool practice tool. Hit the button. Here you have 3 different choices of 5, 10, or 15-minute long warm-ups, and you can also make them easy or hard. Hit the menu button to change those parameters, again, using your up and down and your jog wheel. You can also set the max tempo, where it'll go from a set tempo, let's say 120, and then take you through the warm-up all the way to the max tempo and back down again. You'll play through like half notes and then quarter notes, eighths, triplets, sixteenths, up and down and backwards and forwards, all the way up through the tempos and back. Again, working on your time, working on your different rhythmic variations and subdivisions, and again, really cool, easy practice tool that they give you in the TD-17. It's a nice feature. Finally, on the top of the box, you see the little Bluetooth icon right here. I'll show you that one in just a second. But next to that is setup. In here are all of the internal things you can get into, like the Bluetooth, the SD card, bass and treble, pad settings, individual pad settings for all that kind of stuff. Hi-hat settings is where you set your particular feel of the hi-hat. After you set up where you like, how much you like that hi-hat to be open or closed, you'll hit the hi-hat settings button and calibrate the hi-hat to your playing style. Very easy to do. Use the arrows down to get to a MIDI, right? LCD screen, it's like the brightness of the LCD screen, that kind of thing. USB. Now, this also has USB to MIDI. On the side of the unit right over here is where you put the SD card, and also has the USB input. And you can use the TD-17 as your recording interface to your DAW. Just remember, you go down to where it says USB driver mode generic, use your jog wheel and turn that to vendor. Then this will be your interface and it will show up on your DAW. And finally, you have auto off, which will turn the machine off at its desired amount of time. So if you like leave for the day and you forget to turn it off, it'll automatically turn off. System info and your factory reset. So all of those kinds of good features are inside the setup button. Last thing I want to show you on the top of the TD-17 is the user sample button. The TD-17 is the first interface in its price range from Roland where you can install your own user sounds, your own samples to put on your kit. You don't need the TD-50 to do it. You could do it with the TD-17 via the SD card. And again, it's super simple. Just load the sounds in onto the SD card, plug it into the side of the box, hit the button, and then once you're in there, you could check out the sounds, you could preview them. Roland has put a few of their own sounds in this particular space, but I have some of my own samples in here for you to check out, and just to show you how easy it is to assign them to a drum and to check and to hear them. So the button over here on the left is preview. There's one of the sounds. Use the jog wheel to go to another one, and so on. Then when you want to assign it to a particular pad or drum, just hit the assign button. Hit execute. Enter. And now that sample is on my kick drum pad. Really simple to do, and you can do that with all the pads. Put as many sounds as you want. You can layer sounds. Each particular sound can also have a sub sound. You heard me play some kits where there was like the tom and maybe a tambourine sound with it as well. That's where you can put these layers together with the sub. You could put two completely different sounds together to make up whatever unique sound you want. Let me quickly go through the back panel of the TD-17 here for you. You have your DC power right there, your headphone input, your main left and right output, a mix in so you can go directly in from your iPhone or anything else like that to play along with music. MIDI out to go into any other MIDI module. And just below the main left and right are the crash trigger in and the aux trigger in, so you can put another pad if you want. Now the reason there is the crash trigger input right there is that the TD-17KVX comes with an extra crash cymbal, and you need that input so you can plug that crash cymbal in. Now the last thing I want to talk to you about here is the TD-17's Bluetooth feature. This is really cool. Go into setup. The very top choice you can make is Bluetooth. Hit enter and turn on your Bluetooth. You'll see the check mark come in. Now it says not connected. Well, now I already connected my iPhone before I started this video. It's really easy to pair your phone. Just make sure your Bluetooth is on your device. Hit pairing, and it'll take you through the setup and do it automatically for you. It's doing it again right now. See, now we're connected with audio. So now, through Bluetooth, you can play to songs. You can go to your iTunes library, Spotify, anything you want to play along with, and do it very simply. So I have a particular tune from my band Big Big Train on my iTunes library. This is just to give you an example of how simple it is. They give you this nice little lip here on the top of the TD-17 to put your device. One thing I want to show you real quick so you can make changes to the levels of the audio. Just exit out of that particular Bluetooth feature to the main screen and hit mix volume button right here in the center, and here you can change the level of the audio, the click if you're going to hear a click, the song, the guide track, any of that kind of stuff. You can change all of the levels right there. So let's see where we are and start this song. Super simple and it's so convenient. No wires to plug in, no nothing. It's all done by Bluetooth. And again, if you want to change volumes for everything, just hit that My Volume button, and there you can change the level of everything. I'm going to show you just how easy that is to do. Here's the song playing. Almost all the way off with the knob, and then anywhere in between. So here's the level of the drum kit. Super simple, and they did that with all of the features on the TD-17. Really easy to get around. Everything's self-explanatory right there. There's not a lot of menu diving. There's only a few buttons where you have other menus to get into. Other than that, everything is right there for you to get your hands on and to make all the changes you need and to get to playing music and to playing the drums like you want to. All right, everybody, this is the Roland TD-17. So much fun to play, lots of great sounds, really easy to use. If you want any more information about this Roland product or any other Roland product, just contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks a lot for watching.